So essentially, any person who is coming to campus who is not a student, not a faculty, not a staff member, who is engaging students in any type of conversation, that is considered an expressive activity. Okay. So, given that the expressive activity policy is asking that people will sign up for the designated spaces in order to have their expressive activity. Not trying to prevent you all from doing this, but simply to make sure that we are taking everything into consideration. And so, if you are coming here simply as a patron, using a facility, using a bathroom, eating in the dining areas, things along those lines, and are not engaging students in any type of way, that is not considered an expressive activity. But once you start to engage students in expressive activity or pass out literature or talk about all those types of things, then it does become an expressive activity.
You wouldn't pass out English literature.
And I understand that. And so the request that is being asked is for you all to take down your sign, which you said that you had no problem doing so.
Yeah, we can pull the sign up. Yeah.
And then secondly, that you will refrain from engaging students in those conversations to be in violation of the policy.
So what conversation would that be?
They're saying any conversation.
So we can't talk to anyone?
So if you're seeking to engage with the student for any type of reason outside of just coming to the building to utilize whatever personal matters I alluded to earlier, that is considered an expressive activity. A student to a student is not. A student can come up to another student at any point, at any reason, and that is not considered an expressive activity violation. But in this case, it is. And so the two concerns are A, ensuring that we're wearing our masks inside. And so I provided you all with some of those here if you don't have one to ensure that that's not a concern. And then the second is just the expressive activity piece. The piece where it comes to talking about, the criminal trespass and things along those lines, is when you have individuals who are then choosing not to comply with what's being requested by a university administrator. So whether that is a student, there are student conduct policies that they could potentially be facing, or for individuals who are not a part of the community, a student, faculty, or staff member, where if they're continuing to not respond, and that's where that comes from.
So what if, hypothetically, Mason came up and said, "Hey, Rich, nice talking to you last week. I had a question about this. What do you think about this?"
Certainly. So I think as long as you're not the one who is doing the engaging or the reaching out to students, then nothing stops the student from talking to you in that way.
So as long as they're not initiating the conversation, it's not considered expressive activity?
Correct.
So just again, definitely, and this might be kind of being a little pedantic, but if I ask another person a question as a campus visitor, that is expressive activity that is prohibited unless I go through some other avenue of securing a reservation or authorization or some type of permit to do that.
It is the intent of that interaction, right? So if you're saying, "Hey, where's the nearest restroom?" right? I think that looks very different than saying, "Hey, I want to talk to you about whatever conversation y'all are having." Those are two different types of situations that we're talking about.
Well, what if they were to say, "Would you like to talk about anything?"
Say that again.
What if they were to say, "Would you like to talk about anything? We're here just..."
So that would be them initiating that engagement, and then that's what is determining the. Yeah. If a student decides, what's your name?
Jamie.
Jamie. If a student decides to come up to Jamie and just to say, sit down and talk to him, that's fine. It's not Jamie reaching out to the student and trying to engage the student with the sign or with literature or things along those lines.
If they did not abide by that policy, you said they would be criminally trespassed?
So what I'm saying is if they continue to not comply, we're asking them to, right? We're saying, "Hey, would you mind bending a little bit and complying with our policy," right? If they continue not to do so, then there could be ramifications that the police might have to step in, because they are not.
What
they're-
statute would they criminally trespass on?
So I don't know the exact number, but it's essentially talking about if you are not complying with the police officer's request. And so the police officer is saying,
Lawful directive has to be applied to everyone doing the same thing in a given area.
say that again.
A lawful directive has to be applied to everyone in the same given area doing the same thing. So,
I'm not
I
arguing
understand-
about
I
law with you.
understand You're saying
I'm-
that they could be criminally trespassed for not abiding by your policy. And
What
I'm
I-
saying that you could get sued for doing it.
All I'm trying to talk about is the expressive activity policy. All right. So, I'm not an expert in law. I'm not trying to get into a debate here about law.
That's fine.
But that's what I wanted to come and share. So we have some sanitizer here. We have some masks here for you all. If you all wouldn't mind putting down your sign and nodding it, that would be great. You all can stay if that's what you decide to do.
Yeah, I mean, these students are
Otherwise-
already having discourse with us today, so I think that they probably would like to continue our conversation, right? Yeah.
Otherwise, there is a designated public forum
Yeah.
out there. You all can go out there if you were to so choose and can engage with students in whatever way you felt like engaging with them.
Yeah.
All right? I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.